Fambulem. Once again, I bring on our warm greetings from the media empire then and now. Today, the 22nd, it's a Friday, the 22nd of October, 2021. We bring on once again another special program on this platform. We get a very, very special guest on the platform tonight. And we will talk to una name Prince Emil Koma. We they ask una dia una le we share because we used to get most of una go down here and before very much has a presence on social media and other platforms. Them today we manage for Brian Kennedy then and now platform. What I want to understand is the conversation around the way our country they go. It seem for don't pick up steam, not even seem it don't pick up steam. And left, right, and center, you get different pundits for different reasons. Some are fake, some are real, some are patriot, some are very, very confusing. But I can assure you today, from waiting we on the hear and see, we get a brother where they speak truth to power. This brother is none other than Mr. Wilfred Alimamy Wyse. Mr. Wyse, welcome to the dinner now for the first time, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. So, like I've been saying in the dinner now, this is not the guest we'll get today. So just for begin this program, we'll get for talk about many things. We want to talk about the political, social, economic order in the country, how things they go, because this not in concern every one of us. This not the LCD, the least common denominator. So everybody in the country concerned. We know say we get those who are participating in the program where they benefit from the program, so they see it differently as opposed to the vast majority who are having quite a hard time. So, Mr. Wyse, I know I presume what you know, although I don't hear you a few times, what you think about our country, the way how we go socially, politically, economically, with president, the first lady, the government, the ruling party. If we can give you this opportunity for express your sentiment around the things that I just talk about, we go really appreciate that, sir. The floor is all yours.
Okay. Thank you very much, viewer. And I can say this opportunity for sensitize the people of Sierra Leone, create some awareness to them, because I believe we get for filter information to them. And the things that way they happen, I can just say the things them na salon way they happen now, and we don't they happen is like you know go stop for talk. And more especially, you know, when then they say a global whatsoever they happen at the country, hardship don't they happen and the likes, you they see with presidents, they travel fiti fata, you know, every now and then, even way in all the sea way for travel, in the funny way for travel. And if you let your people them, you're not a responsible leader, you go able for share some of them things and deal with them. If one trip of the president costs $100,000, then in don't travel 214 10. What do you think say the country they go to? This is not for the people of Sierra Leone. That means we get a president where we no use this word. Sometimes we not get for try for modify words them. We get for say as it is. Because me they think a leader as a servant of the people, because now we employ them for let them work for me. If they don't become, let not use the word demogod, let us use them, they don't become God now, because people are worshiping them. People are singing, praising to them before they wake up. So they feel they are doing the right thing. But notwithstanding, I believe one thing say, any leader where we get, now the people responsible for them. Because when you they talk about leadership, you get for look a proven track record or track record where presidents then don't for what aspire for position of presidency. You understand me? But me, I the same as it is. Because anytime they see they under the ambit of the law. If we get president where don't see them from 1996 to 2018, we elect that kind of person there for being president. Now, then kind of thing they all we get. From the beginning, I have never believed in the leadership of Julius Maada Bio. That's clear. Not to say I hate him. It's because I like my country. It's because I know he will not able to prove all the things that we say. if you watch the free education when I in flagship program, my brother, it's a total mess. If you talk about free quality education, one thing where our law will talk about free quality. If this thing is quality, I don't pay for quality education. If the presidents know, say that in day, it trust them, then we will appeal. I like it take 1 battalion soldier man and put at a school, but let him picking go now Wilberforce primary school. Let him feel the quality of the education. So these are some of the things that we point out. Then we get a first lady who will not ever get the type again. And they talk, I want to talk. You go be amazed for you see a first lady they talk about mob justice. You they see when funded they come when not to a money and they dance, they call people for dance. Hey, who's how they go? Now, who's how they go? Now look at this, as the discussion they go, you go know a lot of things that would happen. The country don't polarize. The country, I'm not gonna tell you say tribalism not be there before, but at least it not be there like I did so now. The full neck National Electoral Commission, they are all one tribe. Sorry because not to all the many people in the SLPP, you get some, progressives them. Even with me, Papa Tuemi, they represent the National Grand Coalition. You get progressive men there already. But if you go take one green tribe, you put them for like man the affairs of neck, then that means you want to try for position on yourself for let una go win the next election. Because with all these indicators, they want to try to highlight. You they don't say SLPP is not going to be win the next election if it is free, fair, and credible.
Okay. There's a lot said there, Mr. Wyse. I don't think the people that you will really be surprised. Probably they even expect more. So let me see whether we're able to unpack some of them things that you just talked about, because they're quite critical, quite significant in many respects. But while we try for, I want to go to one of the things then where you cite in a different order. I want for we talk about the economic situation in the country. As per your understanding, even though you touch on that a bit, but I need some extension on it. What do you think is the economic situation in the country today? Waiting at the impact and the effect that it is having on the people. In other words, in a positive sense or in a negative sense. Let me hear you sentiments on that, please, if you will.
Well, anyway, it don't become worse. I'm not going to lie to you. Not to say it was superb before. To be honest, it was not all that superb. Because before I start my statement, we as politicians, the old one and the upcoming one or the practicing one, we for apologize to the people of Sierra Leone. With all waiting God don't give we. Today, we don't lack. We are one of the poorest and most hungry country in the whole world. You understand me? The economy now don't worse than any other time, my brother. If the rest don't go up to $50 or $50 or more, you they pay salary 600,000 leons. You get for pills rent. You pick in and get for good school. And this is the thing. And let me tell people one thing. The president's campaign say, you not go buy rest for 200 and something thousand. That might be only 3 years or 4 years now. But the rest don't go up to 500 and something thousand leons. So you look and say, when they talk about poverty, Sierra Leone, they don't ever pour like cow, they don't pour so now. To be honest. Because if you look at the World Food Program and WFP, they try for tell you, say, Sierra Leone, in the next 1 year, sometimes 2 to 3 million people and get for angry. But in that same 1 year, 400,000 maybe go sleep without even a meal. So this is how the thing is serious in the country. When they come, they make these fat promises, ambiguous promises then. Hey, we go do this. We go do this. The rest not be there so. The president, and as by Koroma, the ex-president was traveling with many people then. But I tell you one thing. The two they cause all this problem for we. Now, because of this man where he come, he talk say, ain't go lock all the loopholes them. But my brother today, the loopholes them where they talk, they don't expand. The wage bill law expand 45% from outside the day. So this is the problem that me, as the beginning, I know say this president not go able to manage the country. Now I don't ever believe in him. My brother, we sometimes when they get a filter information, we have first-hand information with the give. The ages of the girl picking holding our streets now, where they like a teen, let's say 14, 13, 14, 15, 18 years. The girls standing in the streets going a lumbly roundabout. Let you see after 11 o'clock. Let me talk word as it is. Where the girls them, sorry, no disrespect to woman. The amount of prostitutes when they underage girls, where the first lady they always they talk say get out of our girls. If this government's serious, if we get a responsible government, if we get a responsible leader, that money always the thing say get answer for our girls. You bring foreign people and for come here, for can do waiting. If you be better manage that country there with law enforcement agency there and able put things there in place, this all not for happen. So the economy, it don't matter. It totally don't matter. Today, are they up the balcony between regions? I think the president don't come. It passed 30 motocar they were country they go Kenema. Think about that. What thing you don't do the people of Sierra Leone where you need that large convoy? You are the one criticizing the president and it's by the ex-president. But you are doing the worst now. And you know what's happening for this president? He's so adamant, you know, and listen, nothing. It's like, why would they talk about what will benefit the country and they do the worst? And they don't come out Dubai now. They get for go Scotland. They don't go Kenema. And they use Padem. Every day when this president left this country, and they use about $10,000 for Padem. And when you look the travel away, don't travel 214 times. All that they increase the poverty whatsoever inside this country. If you don't take 100 and something thousand for flying them out of the country, you say you go find investors then. My brother, they say play away good day they fed for Jazzy. If this man for don't do his homework well, investors they get people who they can do feasibility study for let they assess the country politically, how stable it is before they invest in a country. So why are you in a haste for the run yonder? You are run for the climate change whatsoever in Scotland now. You not get minister of environment. We go able go man down there, but you go with past 30, 35 people always and then. So this the increase is always it puts. You know what it can be talking about all lot of things. My brother, there is a lot for where this economy they going to drain like the eye they go so. You know now where they say about loopholes them. The loopholes the war gets now not for loopholes them again. Now the old that means the wage bills where they say 45% increment from the previous administration. Political compensation also expand. Everybody want candidate. And you know one thing? I tell you one thing, my brother. I jump one thing to another. But let me tell you, there is a tribal tension in this country now.
I want to stop you there, Brother Wilfred, if you will, because we go come to that. You know, now something I can try for shy. Now something I can try for shy away from where we be.
Yes.
Now something I can try for shy away from where we want to talk about tribal element. But one thing I pick up where you've been to say is we have to call a speed about time we say things probably that and hopefully find a solution once we know the problems. So I'll just stop you there, but we go come to that. We'll give you a chance to explain because we want intertwine everything and then we find a flow coming downwards. So center around with democracy. So some people then say with democracy fake because even though the elections are still questionable, it's marked by violence, intimidation, and terror, and somehow the outcome are almost predicted any day between the two major parties. Them. When it comes to with democracy elections, Brother Wilfred, what do you have to say to that? Waiting at the sentiment you can express around this.
Well, you see, with democracy, don't always be questionable. This is what I'm saying. This is not a problem that started now. We'll try to identify that. And we therefore realistic to our conscience and say the truth for the interest of the country, because it's high time we start taking blames, we as upcoming politicians them, and bring fresh mind in the political system. We need it for sanitize the politics now, because with political system, because actually I don't under an Tijan Kaba, I don't under an by Koromai administration. I go tell you, say with democracy, they're under threats now, to be honest. This I tell you. You know, let me tell you, SLPP is so comfortable with one thing. Then they predict, like what you say, the elections by using talk. You know, 110, when Arata be involved, you see minister, they take ballot box, they turn and down, they do all that kind of thing. Then we know say not begin now. Now they are the true things. But there are room for improvements for we as a politician, including you, Mr. Koroma, way they do this. If you get for partake on in politics, we get for come with new system in politics. You see, I'm not elect for quote one thing. You see, we need to encourage people where we know, say, competency a day for day in politics. Regardless of the political party. But if you identify, say, this man good for this job, this guy can deliver because of a track record. Brother, not because he not agree with SLPP, he not agree with APC, go make say, we not accept him with all what they say. So this thing of political whatsoever in our country, it has been happening, but it don't worse than before. I'm not gonna lie to you. And as I tell you about the political system, the neck, we therefore watch them keenly. All the regional aids team, 70 to 80% are from one tribe and from one party. So if we get for realistic, as we said, as this COPP don't come, as politician, you not bully this small party we don't come, because it will contribute immensely for change this system where they happen. So realistically, let we not come on top. We talk, see there's something, we get something. Because let me tell you one thing. Now, when we come together as a political party, we go able to pull this administration. It's not joke about it, and we get for realistic to ourselves and say, let's swallow our pride for the interest of Mama Salon. Listen, one party not going able to do this. And if we give Julius Maada Bio another term in office, my brother, people ain't go eat grass now, and people ain't go to disappear in this country where we not going to expect that. So now, if we for come, the word I use, we therefore be realistic as a political party, as an opposition. Not say because you get the higher number, you get for bully the other person when they come. Come to the table. Choose competency. Proven track record. Who are going to carry the country to the right direction. We don't care who are going to be the president, but we get for watch the person. President matters. Leadership matters. Now, one of the things they are now, they fail to make the country not the progress. Because me, after my interview, with the last interview I get a lot of calls where people they make an offer to me. I still ride my Okada, I still go Saturday, I still satisfied with my family, and not take the offer because my integrity now it make me a human being. And me upbringing where I don't go, I get for stand with what I believe. If we begin practice that in Sierra Leone, now that time they will go get a U-turn. But if we still get into that archaic way of politicking, my brother, now just a recycling of things then. When this comes, it will revenge, and the country will never prosper us. One of the things they are now for be very, very keen if we watch a realistic, come into the COPP, try for pull this bad governance system out of silo.
Okay. Many thanks, Mr. Wyse. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a Friday, the 22nd of October, 2021. We're having a very special guest in the studio, and it seemed the program they go as intended in terms of the topic, which is about a broken social contract and whether the current president has lost the electorate. If we can make any judgment based on waiting the guests they analyze, then it seems like the question is well answered. But we go come to that. Let me just greet some of we fumble and quickly. Brother Gali Daud, good evening. How you do day, brother? Mr. Mohammed Supermed Kamara, how you do, my dear brother? Arun Pape, how you do? I know say you don't shape this program heavily. Abu Conte, welcome to the program. Seemed like a first time name. Junior Cabo, good evening, sir. How you do? Good evening to you as well. We also get a few other people, what would they call as we go along the way. But let me just recognize at least a woman, a lady of special qualities, Sister Eva Koroma. Welcome to the program this evening. Thanks for watching. And Brother Delwyn Thomas, all the way from Wales. Welcome to the program as well. And everybody else, as we go along, we will manage to call people their name and recognize them. Let me just call the three last names and then we move on. Brother Alimamy Kamara, welcome to the program. Mr. Lawrence Fox. Lawrence, how you do? It's been a while. I hope all is well. And Brother Hamid Kamara, we just want to say thanks to you guys, you're all for watching. And just a few quick public announcements. We advertise now the platform now. We want to let people know that if you get your organization, you get your business, talk to us, contact us. The contact number then at the ticker scroll away at the bottom. Get in touch and we can work out something we need for fender bond between ourselves, both up and abroad. Thank you so much to all of you. Ajara to Kamara Dean, all the way from Freetown, watching. Thank you, sister. And Brother Williams, Alusain Williams, welcome to the program. Today we get a special guest, like I've been say, guest way. If not all of una, most of una go know. Again, a very powerful voice. Now the media, both local MSMs, is very good at that. So today we self-manage for Brian Kanawe platform, and we kind of excited for bring the brother come on. Brother Wilf, the question here asked is whether the social contract is broken and whether the president has lost the electorates. Without asking the question directly, just dealing with issues them around them, you seem for don't go directly into that. But I want to let we touch on the social contract, because few of the things that we'll promise for talk about today, now we talk about so the political, socio-economic order of the country. I think we don't touch on two, and we can go over and over in different dimensions. So the social, when the people wanted to aspire for power, many promises were made. Sir. Now we ask whether these promises, we know they say all because it's difficult for the government keep all of the promises the way they make. How you go rate the promises from this current government to the people, whether they've been kept percentage-wise? We can do, some opinion poll on them and see how much of that contract they don't keep, or whether it is completely broken as a consequence of the socio-economic problems in the country.
Thank you very much. Let me say something. My assessment towards the promises they would not make, let me tell you, I want to be frank to myself and my conscience. I give them 15% of what they don't promise the people of Sierra Leone. Honestly, this is from me. It's the truth. You know why? Because they don't want to listen. The president, they talk about national cohesion, but now we don't get division at the country past any other time. We don't divide more than any other time in the history of Sierra Leone. I tell you, I give you information today and do your findings. Then don't appoint 10 permanent secretaries, all from one region. 10 permanent secretaries, all from one region. It's scary. It's scary. 2, the free education, like what I don't go around and see the free education. Now a package. When they talk about free education, they talk about a lot inside that package. If we don't use 22% of GDP, just in education, we for the expect say schools themselves for get internet service. So most of the government-sponsored school, let me tell you this today, they don't even get a clean drinking water when they run it and toilets them. Not to miss so. Let people and do their findings. Then most of this government-sponsored school, when they Allah for, most of them not get clean drinking water. They not get toilets. The picking and the best time when they go use na bush, and they're very vulnerable. Picking when no native, if it's snake a cobra, now most of the school and they debated. Secondly, the schools that what they see school they wait on for them. When a dotty block they make now some of the provinces there. So these are some of the things. Human capital development. This is not just lip service of the president. You see, if we not come up front and begin tell the president the right thing, it's like we're afraid of, and you not go do the right thing. Me as a person, I never believe in the leadership. Okay, a better way, you don't get a chance of being a president. And let me tell you one thing, regardless of what they say, I go say I'm one of the luckiest Australians, the way don't rule this country twice. So if you know what to do better, and he talk him during in campaign, nobody not give him money for say. He say, I know this country, don't the opposition 10 years, he don't be as head of state or whatsoever, ain't go able to do this country. But my brother, human capital developments now, total, listen, the means of transportation from one point to another, you're not going to imagine that. Pass you there on the queue, where you come on work, and where you come back for go work, and where you come on work. Then you are picking them. Woman, the way they survive. Now the markets and they don't broke them all. Or who side the woman and the vendors them, the street vendors them. Okay, it's not good for letting them in a street because they cause traffic or the lights. But when you pull them this way, you don't provide the markets. You don't provide the markets. You just go pull them without even sensitizing them properly. So it's nothing. The judiciary self, when they think about it, are they afraid? Because justice is not the gift to the poor. The poor man not get justice. To be honest, the poor man not get justice. You they talk about election, they come there, and again, few people now from the other one of the biggest political parties in West Africa and so when at the APC said they self which always in the go so then thought one for revenge now. Now this not the thing they were fear. Now we therefore come together as a solid opposition because if we keep on the revenge back and forth like this, my brother, this country will not go able to develop in any way. We therefore swallow with ego. We therefore put ego aside and say for the interest of Sierra Leone, let we come together. Let we do and collectively. This is a concerted effort. Let we come together and say, Salona, we all own. Like when they call me, then they call, then they make me offer, forgive me car, forgive me a good job, and say, I need to do them. Now, few politicians will do that today, especially the young one. They just want to get that thing, now the silver plates. Then they want, drive big jeep. But they no one that we create this platform today for tomorrow will begin. Then they go live the life where a minister begin go live. Where go say you get free education, you create that platform where equality go there. This thing what they do so today, what you said they do so yonder for sensitize the people of Australia. Now this way for engage on. And at the appeal to all these COPP, all these parties come together. Let us swallow pride. If you not to that, with democracy they on that. Look, just look this coin at the elections. Look where minister they come on, deputy ministers there. Minister they come on and they go under for that election day. Now we assume it's not presidential election. What do they expect for happen? Then they go to abuse the human rights people there. Lawrence there that they talk with he want to. Oman Bangura they were under they talk with he want to. You know, big guns from the old political party that will come, they run for Goyanda. You they bully this one. And this nothing they will they see, they know they recycle, they will know they get them back and forth. Now we swell with pride and Prince. Now we see how we're able to forge ahead with this country. But for Julius Maada Bio administration, now shame them, they shame no more now for talk say they're not able to manage the country. But with all indications, we already there, we know say this country, not to for Sidon no more a small office, they all a power pass alone for better. When a 200 to 300 man that you go take, then you feel to say now 7 million man there. No, you know they work that with it. You are taking care of 7 million people in this country for manage their welfare. They're not able to do them. They're not able to do them at all.
So Lawrence, let's just push back a little bit on the president in flagship program when are the free and quality education. You're not opposed to RAM, do you?
If I'm not opposed to RAM?
Yeah, you're not opposed to free.
No, I'm not opposed to RAM. I'm not opposed to RAM. But you know, before you come into that, if you don't learn, you go to other countries for learn. You make a case study about waiting other countries that is success and then failure towards this. You can't say you do it from up to down. My brother, the free education literally is like it's worse than any other time. Before the initiative, good. If then they get free and compulsory education. But there is lots to say in this free education. And there is a lot of money where people they praise this minister of education. Brother, now one thing Sierra Leonean for able know now. We identify two things. We rights and privilege. Giving we free education is not the money of the president. Now we money, now the taxpayer money, now the resources them, the natural resources they already can buy now they give back. Julius Maada Bio no ever in opposition. It take 10 million, give it in a school no more out of your own. Because most of we know say nobody do job. So you not get that money they for do. So if they do this way, it's obvious saying that we money back then they pay back to the people. So not to think the war for they say, yes, so now so if for Bio, they make road for we something you don't know the cost of the road, wait something at 14 million for one road or 4 million, where one green road cost $1 million. A standard road everywhere in the world now, $1 million with everything they need. So this not to think the war for they say. So we begin the glad. My brother, education difficult. It's difficult now. It's difficult.
No,
I agree.
Lawrence, it's easy for
Wilfred.
It's easy for speakers such from the outside than on the inside because we can draw a parallel. Just like the now president will be there outside and in group. That's how they were speaking, as if everything was just rosy. Fortune thinks them automatically. Now, once in governance, then they find it difficult. Don't you think that would be the same with you if you were given the opportunity, or you would do it?
No. Well, that will not be the same because if you watch the presidential debate, Dr. Yunkela advice. Now, you see, I can always say, you can hate them, you can like them. He advised, say, hey, I will be able to provide for primary schools free education. From there, I make an assessment if I'm able to pursue that one day. So you get to make an assessment. You understand me? He advised that, not just jump on free education because it entails a lot. And this suffer and they suffer so now. So it's not about, my brother, let me kind of tell you, say, administratively, or we get for the look, a proven track record for people who demand this country of this, the affair of this country. In no way TV they talk, now I make it talk that. So now I make we folk, now I make kind of tell you, say, regardless of where you get some small political party as people and they presume, but I want to let you know, say, as it stands, if we not can collectively for do this, bring people expertise for manage the affairs of the country. My brother, one opposition party no go do am. Now collective responsibility, and we therefore start with conscience and say the reality. Not for can talk under be say a raw.
Okay, one final thing on the free education. I also hearing you talk about 22% of GDP is being spent on education, and some of the structures are not ready. You get mod how you call them buildings, them we don't collapse, snake and the beds picking them, and etc. But there's a famous Chinese proverb we say the beginning of a mile starts with the first step. It's not automatic that it's going to happen overnight. It's a kind of process, and even you self mentioned them. Don't you think we should give them the chance?
Oh, when the election don't close, we don't close now. 4 years don't almost reach, and the other 1 year we use them. Let me tell you, SLPP don't know how to do it. You know, it have been there. Let me tell you, and as my Koroma administration was giving 17% of GDP to the school. But you see, say the school system poor from that time they say now. Because you see, we get for the children that they man with affairs of the country. You see this problem, let me be realistic. I want to be realistic. No, you know, they don't want to accept the reality, but the problem not until they start. It have started back way down. Where we be the rich country as the third fastest growing economy in the sub-region or the world. We're not reflecting the lives of Sierra Leonean. So I can tell people like this now. I can be APC, I can be SLPP if I want to be that part in that party. But the integrity comes first, and I believe in leadership and order the man the affair of the country. And nobody just be imposing. We are not believing, and I know say you know go do am then now. Most of we now for we financial gain make would be into politics. And if me now that's make up for me in politics, I will resign from politics because I go get the mind for tell Dr. Yunkela, regardless of my leader. I said, Doc, you get small mistake here and that. But how many of we as a politician they come out for tell we political leaders them the true things? Nobody not be able to tell, even with no disrespect, nobody not be gets the guts or the man who for tell Anes by Kuruma, waiting me they go wrong. And he come there talk to ya. So we don't bring this political whatsoever and we say we presidents them for be demogod. Me not take president as demogod. With all this title being doctor, being brigadier, if for manifesting the lives of the people of Sierra Leone.
Absolutely. And on that note, I want to pause you right there, Mr. Wyse. And we go take a quick commercial break. We'll get a few seconds, but in that few seconds, just want to say welcome to Sister Dolly Tarawali. Welcome to the program. And Fambul, and just a quick reminder that this Saturday, by Mahmoud, another household political name, will be on this platform. So I'm telling you now, don't touch that dial. Tomorrow, by Mahmoud will be here with my co-anchor, Mohammed Supermed Kamara, who will be on the platform. On Sunday, we get another critical program talking about the flying president. What is the cost analysis benefit? Now, what we do on Sunday in terms of going out, and the guests tonight don't mention that. Going out and coming in, waiting at the benefit. Are we losing or are we gaining? How for foreign investors? We go talk some of this with this guest here tonight. Definitely we day on the program because it's very, very interesting. And just like you say back, we are in very interesting times. But like I say, we want to take a few commercial break. I think now about 2 minutes. We get a few people that they advertise with. We don't express interest. We still they wait for them video, then for send them. As soon as they send them, then we'll go able for they do the full advert. Okay, as soon as they send them, we'll go able for do the full advert. One of the video there where we get is the one from Mingles Bar and Restaurant.
It shock you, it shock you, it shock you, it shock you.
Wow, I like the setup and decor. Quite impressive.
You've not seen anything yet. Wait until you taste the food.
I can't wait.
In a sense,
Money make you
Look at that.
I am sharper than knife, I am sharper than nail. Never small like ant, I am bigger than whale. When Baba God don't lift you up, nobody will make you drop. Nobody will make you.
In Brixton, we do more of African food and seafood as well. In Peckham, we do more of African food.
A reception or function of any type, this is the place to do. Just do your booking on time and we can do catering for you.
Okay, so you heard it there. These are the details there where you go need. This joint is exclusively owned by a Sierra Leonean gentleman called Mr. Roland Hamilton. He's got two of these entities now running simultaneously inside the United Kingdom, one in Peckham Park Road and another in Brixton. So whenever you want to engage in their social affair they are, you want to eat good food, you want to eat your African food, and even some foreign taste, not forget for contact mingles with the details with it. Another brother we will still wait for now, IBB's Legacy Bar and Restaurant. Instead, as soon as we get a video, we go 10 for begin play. There are a few others like Francis, Cool and Cozy, now Southampton, where we also get another brother Alexis from the famous joint of Sam Caldana, the late Calizo. Okay, let's not forget we need to patronize each other. It's very, very important. Okay, so let me get back to the thing, but just before going forward, let me just say thank you to brother Theophilus T. Morrison, commonly known as DJ Million, for coming on the program and watching, and brother DJ Million, a brother who is extremely talented, is watching the program with us here tonight. Just want to say welcome, big up to you. Let's back to the guest that we have here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Just a reminder, he's a very vocal critic, and I know say for una we don't hear him, una not shocked by waiting in the say, because he's known for this, not sitting on the fence, gloves off, speaking truth to power. One of the reasons we believe so for Brian Canada platform here tonight. And he's a very vocal critic of the president and in government, and that's what the area tonight. And hopefully before the end of the show, we go get for you some more. And this brother is none other but brother Alimamy Wyse. Alimamy Wyse, Wilfred Alimamy Wyse. But Alimamy, the government get some programs, them some rights programs, them such as agriculture. One for will touch on it. Time not go permit to for I go in depth in many of the things they want to talk to you about, because you're a very critical person from which I understand. But let me talk about agriculture. There is much talk about agriculture, tractors, Toma bomb, but there seems to be an irony. The level of the talk about agriculture and the produce and the harvest of rice, for example, when we staple food, both by the chief minister and other people, it not seem for commensurate or match the reality in the ground. What I mean by this, the average bag of rice price is just the skyrocket. So if they produce or they harvest or mitigate the price effect, how can price just the rise? You are trying to explain to Wiba, because I believe say you didn't the gun what exactly it is, what's going on. Toma bomb, agriculture, rest price, Pusawa. What's up? What's going on, brother?
Okay, well, you see, like what I said initially, this problem, I can always want focus on the government now, but I can always say, to be realistic, I just shut my conscience and try to say it as it is. I don't want to, you know, I don't get permanent friend now in politics. You know why? Because today they go say, hey, nice LPP do. Hey, today don't go APC back home. Now they say at the APC. But while we watch this problem, and during the APC administration, we get hundreds of tractors that we can. Realistically, let's be real, to be conscious. Then come some people and they use them for personal use. No, enough for work that way. Some money be given to by Mahmoud, the Minister of Youth, for that youth farm na Kabbalah. A lot of money. We say youth farm self we not able to see. Yeah. So we for begin to chat with conscience. So this thing where SLPP they do now, remember, so waiting they do all the right. You know, because people they come for they say, okay, they come you with the new direction. Because they feel to say all the people they feel to say all be not be rosy. Okay, now look, come here. But people they like we be know. And we don't do research here. The Tamabom, let me tell you one thing. Let me come to Tamabom now. Tamabom, the road safe accessibility to the road in already. Then they take 300 or 400 pills of rice, send them, put them at tarpaulin, begin to deceive the people of Sierra Leone. Say, we don't go to the north, now we don't go plant. My brother, let me tell you one thing. The time where President Bio administration, where he said don't begin embark on farming. Now that time the WFP say Salone are the most hungry country on the earth. So for Bio administration, me, Wilfred Alimamy Wyse, I not be sure say again for perform. It not surprise me, surprise some people who say, oh, yeah, I try, maybe not disciplinarian. But let me tell you one thing. You know, rest don't go up, food item they don't go. If you petrol where they can force they reduct 1,000 leon from the fuel. I say, hey, una don't know how they be doing. Una wait. Una no can put them people at the expectation. Wait till they no use. Una can land them. Then una no able to continue. Fuel price now don't go to this price with this too. So all the commodities, all the produce them from the upline, now all don't become skyrocket. They don't go beyond. I say the average Sierra is not living by dollar a day. For itself not trouble. So now I make you get most of the picking them where the presidency website gets hands of our gas. Who tell us we are that kind of thing? The government, now scam government. Pepe go take 10 government.
You almost have been very careful. You almost took the word out of my mouth. But again, let me just ask you something around this very thing where you talk. And I think say you don't do the conclusion because now that's exactly what I want to ask you. Government officials are going around and perambulating, propagating, parroting this line of talk and do, to the Sierra Leonean people. Yet the reality on the ground says completely something, kind of different. There's a government minister, not only government minister, multiple of them officials, government officials, where now they try for say there is difficulty or financial poverty around the globe. They compare Salone to other critical continents, significant continents. I know they say my country not significant because I'm a true patriot. But when would they make them comparison day in terms of middle income countries, high earning countries, where we country is not? Then now you make comparison, say Switzerland, Italy, bag of rice now so it costs. Explain to me about how does this work? What in this really
you see SLPP government.
Yeah.
It can sometimes it's painful. Sometimes I make the audience them. I will not take me for my voice. Sometimes I be more emotional when they see because I they work on the breath and the length and the breadth of Freetown. Where they see something someday they I know how they feel. They go to some household, literally, they don't have things to eat. So sometimes when I go to the studio, they move me. So with so doing, you see the tonation, the change. I know other people and take me say, me that kind waiting. Now the things that why they feel na Salone. Because we are the first-hand information we get. SLPP even make comparison between them and the UK, United Kingdom, Britain. They say even England will get chicken in our supermarket. They no say England now because of this Brexit or whatsoever, they not get people who they come on at Eastern Europe for car work, we polish them. We not get when people when they drive that truck, then are the foreign people that they drive because they don't go back. Then they make comparison now between them and England. That's not the unfortunate part of them. As I say, my brother and my sister, them, this is not about hating the SLPP. But let me say this clear. This particular SLPP, now shame no more than the shame. They don't fail. Now this make the opposition be realistic and they reiterate and they talk back. Now they make they talk back. If you compare Salone and England, say England don't get chicken at the shelf. When because of Brexit, they don't know that. Then they not get information. They are misinformed. Then they misinform the people of Australia. Then they do better research. Then just they talk no more for full the people of Australia. You they tell me say Britain not gets petrol then. They said guess what? No, Britain get petrol. Now the people how they drive that petrol tanker, most of them don't return back to the country. So this is how these governments have been fooling people of Sierra Leone. So the brother, there is a lot to swallow in Sierra Leone. I make I tell you now, most of how they get information, now filter information. We want to feel them. My brother, if you don't go buy rest 500 and something thousand leon or 600 and they pay you, that person there, you don't kill her.
Yeah. Yeah, but Wilfred, you are absolutely right, and that's why I asked the question for let you read it so that people can understand. Because when a man like you speak passionately because you're speaking from I will say that here publicly. I believe that you're speaking from the heart. Okay, that's why you're so concerned about the realities of life. And the reason again why I asked you that question was quite necessary because it baffled me why people and they try to make this comparison now. Because again, this issue of poverty, skyrocketing prices, out of reach of goods and services for we people, and the vast majority of them, it's been going on for the better part of 2, 3, 4 years. Now that the other side of the world, they go through things when themselves can manage, because Britain, for example, is the 5th, 6th largest, richest country in the world. So yes, they do have a difficulty, but the way how they try for pair around with ours is simply not true. And people are waking up to the reality. People are wise enough. Government officials can't be going around and they try to spread that kind of message. It doesn't work that way. Okay, brother, I really want for let me touch on a few things then, because we quickly run to the 1 hour mark. Okay, we get like 15-20 minutes for cover couple of them things there. I want to talk about domestic and foreign. This is quite critical, Brother Wilfred, because all along during this administration, if we watch the thread then on social media and most of the other media then, we focus not sim for day on domestic and foreign debts at this critical time. About mostly grant, the few countries where we get grants we celebrate as if that's some good thing, you know, you're independent, why would we claim for the independent? For something really about domestic and foreign debt we need for no, because we know say we government they borrow. But we have no idea. Do you have an idea? Can you provide a brief for us, you know, over foreign and domestic debt? Where are we today, brother? You're on the ground.
Well, honestly, the foreign debts, it don't plenty past before. And as I can say, we for focus on the governments, we sit down now. And the sitting government, we for really try to see how we do that. But I can always want to say something. You see, like what you say, they always talk with me conscience. It's a generational problem. And if we not try for solve this problem now, even as an opposition, now if I ask the opposition or the COPP, we should start constructing our agenda. Agenda is very important. If you cannot do it now, but in the next 10 years, because the population will increase. You know, with foreign debt, it does so much that we're not able to know. You know why? Because most of the things that we do, now a pre-finance contract that we get for take, you know, when they can make them small thing there, they say, hey, they don't make this road here. Then they tell me in details, waiting it takes, or how long we get for pay for them dates there. You understand what I mean? I said today, are they up regent? I see the presidents, they go na Kenema. A past 30 come muchoka the way I see they go. Taking care of all that they fueling them, servicing them, all that they increase to be foreign them. Because who's how they pull money as they say now? We don't get money. Then get the money when they enjoy it. Honestly, because the president they left in this country, they get 10,000 per day per day. They don't travel 214 times. That is more than $2 million.
Just a quick point of correction, Brother Wilfred. And I think say we all don't do this for quite a while. Now the word, you know, per diem, I think it's more of an impress when it comes to the president. So you could be right with the figure, but it's not per diem, it's impress. But
impress, okay.
Else you say around that very correct. And we come to that because that goes to my next question, which is about the frequent flying of the president. When my next question, and again based on the program for Sunday, who is actually benefiting from the frequent flying of the president? Is it
I will tell you,
state, or is it B, the president and the rest of the entourage?
Okay, it's not benefiting the country. I have to be bold and blunt about it. You know, at the talk as it is, me, I don't get no way for modify any other thing. Where you know the talk through, you know the talk through. If you watch Obama, where they in governance for 8 years, check out. Now 52 time he traveled. Super world power, 52 time. Donald Trump now 19 time he traveled. So altogether, 12 years they traveled 71 times. Whilst the president now just himself the benefit to.
Yeah,
my brother,
if
you watch that, draw your attention back to this media.
The highest will be maybe 5 days. You can't
no,
abandon the country for so
brother,
long, like 2 weeks, 1 month.
President, no, what baffle me more now when the president left here go for the educational summit. This man no come back say after. 1 month, where you cannot explain to the people of Sierra Leone, you don't care. If we get a president who is responsible, he go there with the people with this time where and say hardship. They try to identify the problem and how we go solve them.
Yeah. Okay. We guessed kind of frozen. We guessed frozen right there. So let me just take it from Wilfred. Are you back?
Oh,
yeah, continue, Wilfred. You're back. Okay, I think we get frozen, so they have internet problems. But again, Fambulen, just for a reminder now, today na the 22nd of October 2021. It's a Friday, and we get a very special guest. It's true as usual. Pardon me. We talk about many things around governance, political, social, and the economic structure of the country. Where we get them back, I want we touch on a few things quickly because we will really need to round up this program. I don't want to take on our time much. But whilst we wait for brother Wyse, are you back?
I'm back, yes, I'm back. Fine.
Okay, so let's just move on to the next point because you've touched on that. Before I go to my next question, I want to let you break down for we quickly the difference between patriotism and partisanship, because there's a conflation between these two words. Most people seem for they get twisted most of the, if not all of the time, most of the time. Some people them partisanship or them patriotism within they express now in the form of partisanship, and some school of thought believes you cannot be partisan and say you're patriotic. But man like you, a very smart man, help me for understand the difference between these two, please.
Well, being patriotic, now you love for your country, saloon force, and able for identify what's in bad and look your leader and say, man, as I'm supporting Dr. Yunkela for in drive as president, say Dr. Yunkela, that's the idea we reach to, for the reach to. You need to be bold because not all you party no more you the rule. You the rule beyond your party, and if not be your party member no more be vote for you, they able win. So some people, being partisan, you they look you party, you take your party past the country. Man, like we, if in a dande no more we say or person they expect from we go rather die the way we this so, but we not go left with country and support a loyalty to party or support up over the country. No, it's not going to work that way. Now this way we for don't come and see things then identify the problem. Mr. President, what you are doing is not right. Tell them. Because the lives them matter to win at this country. Yeah. If you see Julius Maada Bio get the administration going up Padeba Road and say the alleged prison break, people in die and that they will not get accounts of those people. Now, because we're not able...
Wilfred, yeah. This is the passion about you. If they tick you, you're ready to go off. I want a quick answer on that, and I think say you articulate them well. And for 30 seconds, Wilfred, how optimistic, or are you optimistic, if I think I can ask on that way instead of leading, how optimistic are you about this process where you articulate so well in terms of patriotism? If you think, say, people will ever warm up to that your idea of patriotism, ownership, independence, and not loyal to anybody other than the system, and you should be true to that. Are you optimistic that one day we go realize such?
Yes, I'm still hopeful. You see, the message where would they bring here for Lord One, with time, with you, with me, with others, the new generation will come. If we still get the faith that, this thing not going to be automatic. It's not instantaneous. It's a gradual process. Change. It's not an event. It takes you time for you do. You see, I believe in presidents telling me agenda for the country than telling me this quick fix. Let we able to get the generation for the next generation for come let it not go through what should they go through. So, Mr. Koroman, this should be a collective responsibility as we are doing. We are please appealing to Sierra Leoneans them. Now we still believe and get hope say we can turn around things. It's better late than never. And the way the world they go through, time get for come the Western world will not concentrate in our problems. So it's better we start fixing our problem than others fixing them for we.
Absolutely, sir. Matthew Van Davis, welcome to the program. Mawan Conte, welcome to the program. Kadi Samora Batul, welcome to the program. Prince Becca, PK talk about the dollar. Okay, I will ask the guest a question quickly on the dollar, just for go along with waiting you they say, Mr. the man we asked the question, Mr. Alimamy Kamara. There are a few things, in my opinion. If a political party that is deemed to govern cannot be well organized, a country cannot be governed. Okay, so there's a question. There are a few questions now the chat room, Wilfred, and one of them is like the guy wants for us to talk about the dollar. I mean, it's not been specific, but I guess generally the dollar are supposed to Williams. We border under the economic things where we did talk about. What are your view about the dollar as opposed to Williams? If we juxtapose both, is it having an effect on the local currency, or the local currency having an effect and therefore effect on the prices of goods and services?
Well, anyway, the dollar is not a secret now. $100 now 1,030,000 leons, and a record high. And you see, the bank governor shocked the markets by this name. Hey, they can pull some zero them, you know, for put these things down and make them kind with them without having a proper reserve. You know, this particular dollar issue, now a wider issue, we get for deal with the economists then, now the country. You know, with an idea where we go get. Now, based on that, they are the talk. Now, sensitive issue, but with common sense, you go able to analyze that. Come out, say, hey, they can put some of the zeros there. It shocked the market. Professionalism, no day. My brother, you see, if you get professional people and get out and they do things professionally, but just because of tribalism, partisanism, make the country need to go further. And if now this way, if now on this trajectory with the trend on, my brother, and they take we 60 years for road reach to Ghana day, and I wonder if Ghana will wait for we. It's sad, but it's the truth. I went to Ghana. I saw what is going on. It's the fact. Now, Stallone, they see the Avolin and Boku pass the people of Sierra Leone. It's sad.
Okay, Wilfred.
It's sad.
Quite an interesting analogy right there. Many thanks for that. I want to touch on corruption quickly. I know say we don't go around the periphery, but I want to let we go.
Mr. Kurumano, make a laugh.
Yes. so hear me out, because maybe you go even laugh more. This government appear for the champion the fight against corruption, but there's a huge school of thought, and it's growing. Say you don't have the moral aptitude or the moral conscience, you know, for being arbiter for corruption, because this is not me saying this. Reports upon reports, including the government report for which they may want to go, I mean, Larapia still or under the boats there now Wataki, if I can put on that way there. It says that this government is corrupt because there are questions around accountability and transparency. And not only that, Carl may also come out with reports. We put this government right in the middle. Of course, they don't want to listen to Africanist press, even though they listen and read. But Africanist press already don't out in many respects. So this government, they talk about fighting corruption. Give me your view as to how they fight this corruption, what it mean generally. Give me your perspective. People always say they fight corruption.
You see, you know, I laugh, then I can't feel I'm back, because me not posting way I so love the country. I know this not it's serious. You know, not to team will me for laugh, honestly. You know, I can give you this one definition. The Agata, they don't big pass the push. That's all the corruption, don't they? That means ACC. We, you know, Ben Kelfala, the ACC, na the push. The Arata, just imagine the Arata don't big now, don't big pass the push. You know, Ben Kelfala as a young lawyer, if I don't get a very good CV way for the work properly, diligently, you understand me, transparently with the people of Sierra Leone. But this guy, what you see so, na party picking. Now, defender of the government, now lawyer for the government. How then go tell you, say they suspect Africanist press? It gets all in facts and figures then. Incredible. Nobody no go say that. They're not even lament on that further, because they know say all waiting the man they talk there is fact there. Yeah. Waiting can happen. They say investigate Fatima Bio, where every 4 or 5 weeks they buy furniture up to $45,000. Waiting the ACC boss say. He said, let them go back from Tijan Kaba in time, from 1930 back, let them begin check. Can you imagine? These people, and they take people for granted. It's serious, my brother. This is why I'm calling the opposition, all the party for law will amalgamate, for law we get one force, because this thing at Trevor Mona with tomorrow. Only thing we happened during the 80s, now they come back into so. And people they say, no, Salon will come into problem, but how you go able to do when you know able to give, when angry person not angry, when you talk say, you can not say this person is angry. And you can always do things where you not go able to imagine. This thing when they take so as play. If the opposition not swallow the pride, if the opposition not puts the ego aside, my brother, if they one day get this power back, the corruption will be massive than any other time before.
I promise you say we go counter that, because every given chance you do mention that, and I understand the importance of that, both to you and the country and the people. So definitely we go end the show on that. But on the issue of corruption as well, because corruption comes in many facets. Some people overlook them because they don't see them as such, but it happen whether now the election process where all time is marred by violence, constituency 110, and no action is being taken up to this day. That in itself is corruption by every measure of the word. I wonder we touch on the Speaker of the House, because this is important, Wilfred, and I'm sure you will agree with me. The Speaker, the process in which he became Speaker, is in itself questionable, and the occupant himself, in person of the Speaker, it gets a very questionable character, where in any sense, shape, or form, not even go near the chairmanship or the speakership of Parliament. What do you have to say to that, Mr. Wyse?
Okay, you see, I make my last radio interview again. First of all, I'm not afraid for say this, and I don't care with waiting the government get for feel about me and waiting they get for do anything where they say they under the ambit of the law. Let me tell you first of all, Abbas Bundu, because of pending things that we don't do in this country, first of all, enough for even aspire for any government or take any government position in this country. Let me be realistic. You go for retrieve your property there now. Just imagine how corrupt it is. They go for go retrieving property there, go through the petitions committee inside the parliament. Dr. Yunkela said, no, you must go through the petition committee. You want to make increments when you retire. Say you for take $60,000 when you retire. If you don't take 60,000, waiting Julius Maada Bio will take wait or we retire. To be real, you say, Mr. Koroma, these things are serious. Now I make I tell you, say, President, leadership matters. If we know a good track record of them people, how the man with country. My brother, this country, I tell you for come, the king are not able to survive it in here. You see climate change, they come all around now. You see population, they increase now and then. The money, the loopholes that where this man they talk during the campaign, if they utilize them for the next generation now, me, I can look me picking what they run me. I say, if anything happens to you, Papa, now, how will he survive? This is how I'm looking. Then there's the I see, I pull about 300,000 millions. How many people can afford that money? How much people can go afford that type of money for take them picking in a hospital? Where you go, the president in West, all that's not corruption. The IGP, he don't come clear say in a SLPP. The what say na ya ide na day for it. You dey get the driver the transportation cost na this country. It come across, you go team up na the roundabout, still a post with the worker. Then get book with a long leg. The book way long from here to any side where they say. Then they take book into the people. Okay, so if you
Wilfred, just for the benefit of time, we go get for book you on for come again, because there's so much we want to talk to you about. But we get a few more questions for cover before we let you go, sir. In the meantime, Fambulem, we want to express thanks and appreciation to Mr. Wilfred Alimamy Wyse of the National Grand Coalition for appearing on the premiere tonight, and not only appearing but touching on very, very significant issues of our time. The future of the country. It use keywords then like generational, and when I say generational, it get big meaning. In other words, we need to look at things that we did do now. Other than that, if we not sort them out, then obviously we picking them, there will be nothing left for them, and posterity will judge us bad. So we're happy for get Naya tonight. People are begging, say, But of course, we always listen to the audience, and very interesting program in many respects. But let me see how far we go with this. Let me move on to the judiciary quickly, Mr. Wyse. There are many issues that I want to touch on the judiciary, but I will try for compact time, again, for the benefit of time. So at one point, going back to the Palo case and a few other cases, the judiciary seemed for one clean-up in act. But somehow they found themselves compromised again. And the issue I will bring to you of Mr. Kamarimba Mohamed Mansari, a leader of an opposition party languishing in jail on alleged charge of penetrating a minor. Giving you perspective on this Kamarimba case, please, then and now.
Okay, like what they say, Mr. Philip, if you want to get me back, you get for beer with one thing, and the audience then get for really beer with me being realistic. Like what I don't say initially, this is not a generational problem. This is not a problem we don't start. If you get for watch about the judiciary, it entails a lot. It gets now one of the things them way they make the country destabilize, because justice delay is justice denied. Yeah, if you watch back, it's all lots. Now, make I say we get for the truth leader with no disrespect. I want the opposition follow come together, follow fight one thing, but we get for realistic to we safe back. And shoulder some responsibility, say we don't make mistake during and now. If you watch from Samsumana in Saga, where we don't happen then, say it come to this, say to Tambayode, all the things that will not be fine for the country. Now, as me leader, you always say, he say, Lord, try for forgive. Like what I say, we choose, or people and choose Julius Maada Bio, thinking he can change everything. You see, Mohamed Kamarima issue. Every day we go to studio, God knows that I the advocate for him, say, and no fear the way they treat him. You see, the judiciary, now one of the people I remember say them go take independency. But no, most of the appointees, them with it. Most of the people are there. They are not independent. They are elect. They are chosen by the president. They are chosen by the president. This is alarming. They not bastardize this constitution totally, entirely. It's sad for this country to do that. I was proud the last time from this woman what they call Glenn. At least they speak with authority, say politicians enough for use the judiciary as them play us when they go come for intimidate the other political parties. Then it's sad. If a country is not, if it not gets a stabilized judiciary in the country, they are trusted judiciary in this country, there is a big recipe to turmoil. You know they rule that out. Because you see most of the people who they go to, they look Mohamed Kamarima, he helps the deteriorates day in, day out. Everybody can happen to. Now, they go for some reason for come together and do this thing here. The judiciary corrupt past any other thing. And a poor man and they more than any other time. Now, the people who they vote for the political party, now they day under. Now, they didn't sell. You the same man wait sometimes commit crime, a traffic offense. When a bike man, and then a paremba rule. Person, look like lots of corruption and the independence of the judiciary and the SCC. Look at 49,000 bag of rice. Where Timbo, where thief that rice state. Let her know the talker. Timbo thief the rest. Timbo have been reinstated back as a other minister, working as minister of labor minister. They work in the Ministry of Labor. Now, thief it when they picking the rest. 30 days, SCC no able give we an independent or comprehensive report about that case day. So the judiciary, when you look at my brother, true not that again. Now, partisan, like what I say, Lord, try for the identify or distinguish between partisan and patriotism. So this is not the thing what they say. My brother, when they feel it, we were there and how they feel. Let poor man not sit to go to hospital. Let you see how they go treat him. Let poor man not get case in a court. Let you see how they go suffer. So this is not thing where they tell you, Mr. Koroma, we as a new politician, we as politician, young politician, we get for change from all this past.
Absolutely.
Because state it in their own way. Because when this don't do them, this member say we do them back, it is right. And this what I want to say, when we come at the revenge, how long we go take for develop the country? So the judiciary, it corrupts to the highest. The police, as I don't tell you today, police then they do any way they want. Then they arrest anybody where they want to arrest at any given time. Me don't take and say, even if you come for arrest me, I not get choice. Watch what they say. It under the ambit of the law and not for the Sierra Leonean populace.
Okay. Many thanks, Wilfred. You seem for, just put everything I want to talk under corruption, yeah, in one go. And I really appreciate that. Dolly Tarawali, but we cannot forgive without justice. Sule Adekule is watching. Brother Komba Moses Mbayo is watching. Gladys Williams. I think Mr. Prince Kroma is clogging up the program with too many issues. Many thanks for that observation, Sister Gladys. Sometimes you just want to get as many issues into a short segmented program, but I appreciate your comments and the comments of others. Brother, I want to go to the First Lady of the country. I know we touch on briefly here and there, but let's go to specifically. This time not on the issue of corruption, but one on the issue of behavior. Because there are people out there we believe, and it seems like a normal thing, that the office of the First Lady or the occupant, it get protocol them where if I go by, protocol if I follow. But in this case, this First Lady seems to be a First Lady all on her own. They do things them where some people ain't go appreciate, others not go appreciate, but something for the way beyond something else. For example, the Russian president invited them to a function where everybody, it was a sober function, presidents, heads of state with their wives. They march soberly into a hall. First Lady whip out a camera and go live. Obviously, this is not allowed. Whether you get your own style or you're unique, you cannot just do that. And there have been many other instances like TikTok, for example. Understanding what TikTok is. Waiting on your observation or your thoughts about this First Lady within this regard what I just raised.
Mr. Koroma, let me tell you, let me be realistic. Me, I say as it is. Yeah? What are you to blame? Now the man you to blame. Now the man I want and so. The man I want and so. This now they talk. If a man not go able to put in house in order, you're not going to put the country in order. This is the fact. That's a fact that one day. You understand me? They not vote for her. Now for the president, they vote for. If you allow all thing then they dance in public as a First Lady, how serious are you? Then for loan me money, you dance with your people then. It ridiculous. Then they take me for granted. Then they take me say we are fool. Now I make this thing will begin for choose leaders then. If you say us in the tell we say we most of we are coconut head, not to bad talk, not the truth. Because this is not a mistake. For now we get short leadership. If you don't be in leadership now, you go correct some of your mistakes the way you don't make. But my brother, if Fatima Bio all this in saying be up justice, he acts in the public, you don't see stop easily, they stop. Now wait till man leg. You see, you say you don't marry, you married back, all my they say, Abu don't marry, you they go under back, you see. Now the same thing that one they copy. You see the Inspector General of Police, he don't under for a long period of time, and now he can marry using with money. Now what you see from Fatima Bio? Say where Fatima Bio they act, so me say go act this kind way. Lead by example, brighter example, sincere example. Now then thing they will not get in this country. Now they make leadership matters. With all the way we are by Kuruma, me a critique of Anes by Kuruma from and building in term. But you not go see I behave that kind of way in the public. Honestly, I want to be realistic. You not go see act that way. You not go see Dr. Yunkel and West, they just like that, they do that kind of thing. Even when they're in opposition, you not go see them so. Let be realistic. You not go see Samura Kamara and human they act in that way. Let be realistic. Even if I get some reservation, I get some things them against that past administration because I want the country for them fine, like how Rwanda fine, but we get for point out back the reality. If we talk about the bad, we get for talk about who size merits they will get into the person. Absolutely. See, it's well behaved in public. You know what area, more for this area and for that area and for that. But everywhere this woman want to talk, even with even for appoint people every one day, they elect. You man they elect. Absolutely. You they take $40-something every 2 weeks. Now took them at the people and waste where they sit on at the chair there. My brother, it's a lot to talk about in Sierra Leone.
Great point, Wilfred. Before I come to the final segment of this show, I just want to ask you, because you've mentioned it a couple of times, say then they take the people and for granted and they take we the people and for granted. So you they feel the heat of the people, you they feel them. What's your take? Then they take we for granted. Are people wising up? Are they preparing? What's your take?
My brother, realistically, people are like when I try with it. Sometimes if you hold 200,000, you come on the street. Sometimes you need to eat 30,000 out of that money. Now, do you know more, brother? You know go see some things that you know help. You they put much for things that put to your concern. But now because of your country, my brother, these people, no, let me tell you, SLPP administration take me for granted. They think say we na mungu. They think say we na coconut. Now I make for telling the people and get their responsibility. Listen, any leadership will get. Now the people are responsible for that. Now then choose them. Realistically, me, I myself, Wilfred Wyse, will not able to vote and change everything. Not so. It will make an impact to some extent. But now we for come together say, you know, Lord do this, Lord be realistic. APC, SLPP, they don't do their own. Okay, SLPP, they in governance. Now, one change SLPP now. Now we for come, you get for look, regardless of your tribe, your region, your religion. Now you get for come, say, you make an assessment. Say, rest don't go so. Now this price, this president be say so. Now it all worse than before. Now this time be so, they say they make bridge. 30-day bridge, we not even see one poly. But wait, you know what they get for do? Then they begin put stick there inside the water. Where election they come, then they give fake people. My brother, let me tell you something. One thing we come. I didn't at the ferry the last time. Last month ago, Mr. Koroma, give me small time that talk. Last month, I traveled on the 20th for go left somebody with travel go Dubai. A fashion at the ferry stopped inside the water for 6 hours, 30 minutes. Would they from 5:30 p.m. 12 midnight? My brother, now that's any rescue boat come for can't take with it. If you one of them presidents or the minister picking every day, if you see woman and picking them, and make sure say when the rescue boat, now not to rescue boat. When they feel for come, because I'm at the ferry, and that ferry, they'll tell you one thing. If you get to program, draw the attention. While you talk to the people that within Alungi, anything you have to that ferry, they will not begin to talk, say God, God, God. Those ferries are more than 60 years. They are more than 40 years. And anything happen to that ferry will be a national disaster. We have to be
disaster waiting to happen, yeah?
Yes. So these are something that's sensitive because some day now one ferry on day, everybody they rush on Monday to Tuesday, rush hour, the ferry they overload. And there is big possibility for that ferry for capsize. No, not say God day. They don't tell what they say God day. They don't tell what they see plenty of things that they happen in this country where they go buffing. So now waiting me the advice, Mr. Koroma, I want you come into that ferry business.
That same day, I will talk to my sources then at Potloko Day and Lunge Day, and definitely, and if you get any information as well, we look up to you. Just provide, we will go run a program on that. Definitely, these are things that we look forward to. Wilfred, obviously, Expo 21 Dubai was another talking point, you know, in the country, and I sure say you do have a view. I see you shake your head already. So fire away, please. What are your thoughts?
Nigeria, if you watch Big Brother in Nigeria, you see say now the way we win and they send we presidents now, artists now, and they enjoy flying up the air. I think you know be getting opportunity they need for do that. That's the fact. Me know they get anything for hide. And they talk for that Mami Ebu waiting na Putloko, waiting na Cambia, waiting na Matru John, waiting na Pendebu, waiting na Kailan, waiting na Tiu. Now they talk for. The presidents enjoy flying, wasting our resources.
Okay.
Now a hobby.
Yeah, I think that says a lot. It was a waste. We can conclude on that. What's your view on the Africanist press?
My brother, Africanist press, they are well organized. Now God sent. You understand what I mean? You see them, they put more today. They know all what they are doing is all what the Africa preach they are true. You know they see them touch themselves. Then those they take me say they take me for granted no more. Then things that we don't understand. The way where they go no say we understand that the day where we get election go come. And let me tell you one thing where you don't talk about. Now this neck official, one grand tribe and one grand party member with the man the affairs of the National Electoral Commission. Let we watch them very well.
Yes, and Wilfred, like I say, we get for book you back like you hear somebody they accuse me already say they clog up the issues there because there is so much for talk about inside a short segment and we can't talk about all. So definitely, brother, you definitely going to come back and I want a commitment live on air that you will be coming back because people are really enjoying this program. I can't let you go without asking you a few questions about NGC and the leader whom you so much cherish. So not very long ago, Dr. Kande Yumkela seemed to get problem with the parliament. At one point in time inside parliament, he was a darling, he was a hero. And then suddenly from hero, he became something else, parliamentary committee. How is Kande picked now, please?
Okay, thank you very much. You see, people were accusing us of being an SLPP, and they will come back. But realistically, you get forgive a sitting governments. We transit from another one. You get forgiven that leverage for operate and prove them wrong or right. People were accusing me that I'm the presidential spokesman for Julius Maada Bio, because a realistic for the president just come 2 years after almost 11 years. You judge them within 1 to 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Koroma, you see, sometimes we lose people away very important in our society. There is a reason for we or for me to support Dr. Yumkela, because before supporting him, I watch him track record first. Maritially, in marital status, in fact, now one of the things that were very important in life. I watch it down till I come usade so. And to be realistic, when Dr. Yumkela change, we are not saying no go change, we go change para. But my brother, let's take a look of that Monday. If you tell me McKinney life matters, you know where the McKinney life matters, where I'm boldly and talk with you for talk. Of recent, they talk with you for talk. Now the same thing they come to we. If a government come 11 years almost, or a 10 months, 10 years, 6 months or 7 months or 5 months, a natural follow give them chance. A natural follow, let them get a leverage there for operate. We go to observe.
Okay.
To give them benefit of the doubt, for let them do what we feel to say, then for be able to. We call them a couple of times for let we will sit down with them, let Dr. Yumkela able share expertise with them. But they refuse thinking, like I tell you initially, that office where they did, the members say, when they go sit down there with 30 or 40 people, hey, power pass alone for better, nah, that way them for rule 7 million people. NGC no get about that. Now country first. If you watch on country first. So Mr. Koroma, like what you say, there is a lot for those say then you all answer for say like get another next program. Yes, it's fine. But I get for make consultation with the people one day. You know say when person in the back, now person in don't make say don't reach this issue. I get for make consultation and say I get for do. Because we get for concentrate on the issue of Sierra Leone as well. Not to say I'm not going to come. I go left for
I understand you need for in depth. But just say, if it's national, it's a constitutional duty, especially the way how you go about conducting the interview and previous other conversation, which means that you are at the height of the conversation, and that just has to continue, not necessarily on this platform. It can be on any other platform, but definitely this kind of conversation need for continue, because
no, Mr. Koroma, I will tell you this.
Champion. Yeah,
I will tell you this, I will come back. I will make a commitment, I will come back.
Yeah, one thing where you try for champion, that for change mindsets. That's what you're trying to do. So it's necessary for continue to advocate that on different levels. But many, many thanks for that commitment. I'm absolutely fine with that. Again, my name na Koma, me not a Koma, I'm Koma, K-I-O-M-A.
Okay, Koma. I've met somebody by the name of Koma. Yes,
yeah,
Koma.
We are unique and very few, and sometimes they call us foreigners. But again, Wilfred, on the issue again of Dr. Kande Yumkela, he's been taking off all of these committees, and election is just around the corner. It's 18 months. It seems like a long time, but in politics, that's a short time. And part of this conversation, many a times you mention until the opposition then come together. And I believe you talk about this outfit where they're not making the main time called the COPPP. So I go ask you, because you are knowledgeable of what is happening on the inside, on where Dr. Kande stands. I know say he agree with that, because if you advocate that publicly, which means that the leader also they look at that kind of prospect. Is he being touted like heading this COPPP, some outfit we go eventually go forward for challenge the Julius Maada Bio government?
Well, he only follow talk that now, yeah. We dey party COPP, this na consortium. Now, like where this APP, all political party, whatsoever, we fail. So we just come into that. We'll reach into that bridge. Okay. We go cross that bridge. We, like what I talk initially, say, we for come together, and based on competency, law pit people, allow no go get a repeatal of what thing don't happen. Yeah. When they make them move Dr. Yumkela, it be there foreign affairs where it starts. When we begin, they know they dance to the tune of the power administration. Because it's not to SLPP now, power. Anything they for do and by force. Diplomacy, no, they for do and by force. So in order dance to the tune of the government, it is same as it is. It is CMI for B for the people of Sierra Leone, Mr. Koroma. So, Mr. Koroma. So, then there are things that we not agree. You know go Benham. I get a party will tell me from the SLPP administration, say Willow, you if they want to put word na much no more, you go rather stop the party, but you wait you want to talk now, you talker, you need the Benham, you the talk as it is. You see, I want to talk one thing back. All them thing they don't move them man there. So me, Dr. Yimkela, see I'm a servant, and not see I'm as demogod. Now so I want the people of Sierra Leone, including you, Mr. Koroma, even if you get Koroma, if you get posting where you get for the support, or you get post where the support, no look I'm as demogod. Look I'm a servant. If we begin for look the leaders them, like when you know, it can be so disheartening where people are waiting at the Western world with all this exposure. Those are the people where they condone bad leadership in this country. Then they see the country rosy, then they see the country fine, then they see the facility where they begin and get. But when it comes to your country, you just one can take and go. You know, most people are not come up, but this power we don't left England, come here, where they not they get OCR for the past 30 years. Now they don't get mansions them. Come on, brother. Yeah, okay. If me want get mansion, if I want get motoka last week, they should have given me one, a Prado. But I turn it down. How many politicians will do that?
Okay.
How many of us will
many
do that?
Thanks, Wilfred. Ladies and gentlemen, obviously, this is the Den and Now Media Empire platform. My name is Prince Emil Koma. I'm the host. And not forget, tomorrow, Supermed, the host by Mahmoud. By Mahmoud is a household political name from the All People's Congress, so he will be on this platform. So if you're on the program tonight, don't touch that dial. It's going to be very, very interesting, I can assure you. On Sunday, I will be back with a monologue. It probably might be a call-in, but most likely because I want for flow. And we want to talk about the president in Fly One. So we did do a cost-benefit analysis in terms of the president going out, and we go out with the income. Now, losses on a gain for we, and part of the conversation here tonight, these guests touch on that. How much the president they receive as per presidential impress, where it go, and then how it cost the nation, bleeding the nation in coffers in the name of investment. What investment mean? How you get investment? Waiting at the portfolio, waiting the country get, waiting at the structure them, waiting at the atmosphere. Is it conducive enough? Many, many questions. So if there things that they're not there, energy and etc., how will investors come? And I think say we guests tonight did mention that even the one the way they turn up, now then short term and then cut to one and then they show up, and I can't agree with them more. But Wilfred, you get the final word before we close the program.
Okay, thank you very much for my viewers. Them, like you always say, sometimes I'm very passionate about the happening in Sierra Leone, the suffering of the people, and my message now, hope. Say still, we get room for improve. It's better late than never, but it's better we start it now. And by starting it now, let us try for unseat this man democratically. You know, it makes Sierra Leone a peaceful country. Like this president, they go take 1 month, 2 months out. If in a country, then we not believe in the rule of law, then don't overthrow. Trust me. Because you know, left with people in 1 month, 2 months, you go no more just like that. But because we're in a law-abiding country, I please appeal to the general populace, the one that we not go elect the waiting at the top, fine, the one that we elect with our, let we still maintain restraint at this country, for let we see this country not go with it for go back. And if we allow this president for let continue this, there is a likelihood for a turmoil in this country. So I will stop there now because the things that we in the country plenty for say, because the closing statements, if you say one, say what you go say, they are meant. So I will say tata for now.
Okay, brother. To fumble and when they watch the program tonight, and the thousands we get for watch the program subsequently, we've had a very interesting guest. And not surprised we at all. We knew what we expected, and most often we watch you knew what you expected. Probably he performed below levels as we go expect because he seemed to be a firebrand. But speaking truth to power is the brothers' mantra. And this is the Den and Now Media Empire platform. And again, will not forget for tuning tomorrow. Supermed will be hosting by Mahmoud, and I will be back on Sunday on a program with a cost-benefit analysis. Who is profiting? Is it the country or the people the way they fly out and go? We will do an analysis of that. But for now, we want to say thank you to Brother Wyse. And at some point, we will arrange a comeback again because there are so many issues we want to let it touch on. And the brother has been simply fantastic. To everybody else, we want to say from the Empire, then and now, we want to say good night to all man. We will see tomorrow, God willing. Thank you very much.